Hello, everyone. In today's class, we are going to build on our understanding of supply and demand by looking at an important distinction: movements along a curve versus shifts of the curve. Many students confuse these, but the difference is fundamental in economics. Let's start with demand. A movement along the demand curve happens when the only factor changing is the price of the good itself. For example, if the price of coffee decreases, consumers buy more cups of coffee. That's an expansion in quantity demanded. If the price rises, people buy fewer cups. That's a contraction in quantity demanded. The key idea is the curve itself does not move. We just slide up or down the existing demand curve. Now let's talk about shifts. A shift in the demand curve occurs when a factor other than the price of the good changes. For instance, if consumers' income rises and coffee is a normal good, demand increases, the whole demand curve shifts outward to the right. If tea suddenly becomes cheaper and people switch to tea, the demand for coffee falls. The demand curve shifts inward to the left. So shifts mean an entirely new demand curve is drawn because consumer behavior changes at all possible prices. On the supply side, a movement along the supply curve is also caused solely by a change in the price of the good itself. For example, if the price of wheat rises, farmers are willing to supply more. If the price falls, they reduce the quantity supplied. Again, the supply curve itself stays in place. We are just moving along it. Shifts in supply happen when some external factor changes production conditions. For example, if new farming technology reduces production costs, more wheat can be supplied at every price. The supply curve shifts to the right. If the cost of fertilizer rises or there is a drought, farmers produce less. The supply curve shifts left. These are non-price factors that change supply behavior across the board. Let's recap. Movements along the curve are caused by a change in the goods' own price. Shifts of the curve are caused by other factors: income, tastes, prices of related goods, technology, input costs, or government policy. Understanding this distinction is critical because it helps us analyze how markets react to real-world events. In our next class, we'll take this a step further and see how shifts in demand and supply curves affect the equilibrium price and quantity in the market. For now, remember, price changes move us along the curve, while external factors shift the entire curve.